Okay.
And you are recording.
Okay, we'll call the operations meeting to order February 22nd, 7 p.m. Annual meeting is the first discussion item on the agenda. Before we get started, does anybody have anything else they'd like to add to the agenda before we get started?
Not I.
All right, we'll just go with the three items that we have on there then. Annual meeting discussion. Last I heard, Tom had given the office all the committee chair information and who's going to be reporting. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you have all that, Deborah?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Tom, thanks for getting that together. And Deborah, you know who's doing the reporting and all that. Can you get that information together? And I'll speak to you later about the order of things, the way that it'll go.
Yes.
Okay. The annual meeting will be a Zoom meeting. And the start time on that was what?
1:30.
1:30.
Correct. Okay, I've talked with the election committee and they will be at the clubhouse. And Rick, the last time you and I spoke, you were still planning on being at the clubhouse to run the Zoom part for the board.
Yeah, I'll be there and I'll have the Zoom running there. So when the results are in, Jim Muhlenbein can announce those right away.
Okay, and he said he was gonna look you up and get with you on the Zoom piece and do that all at the clubhouse.
Right.
For the votes.
Correct.
Okay, I was wanting to set up an agenda for the meeting, the annual meeting. And I wanted the entire board to participate and add all the items they would like to add. So with that, I'll open it up for ideas and questions and concerns on that, please. We've got a list of the chairman of all the committees that are going to speak. That'll be on the agenda. Anybody else have other items they'd like to see on the annual meeting agenda?
I will give a rundown of the marina, a summary of what has happened this year and what we can look forward to have. Some of it, but most of it's going to be factual, and I will go into that a little bit further into this meeting.
Okay. Jim, are you going to be available for the annual meeting? Thank you, Paul.
Yes, I'll be in my car, but I'll be in the meeting.
Okay, could I ask you to give a summary of where we're at as far as what we spent this year in regards to the marina and all that kind of stuff? Or does Paul, is that infringing on what you had planning on talking about?
Not at all. If he wants me to cover it, he just has to give me that information. I could cover it, but if he's going to be at the meeting, that'd be great. It's always good to have him handle the financial stuff because he knows it much better. And he's well versed in that, as we all know.
You good with that, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm fine. We just need to get that information from Deborah.
Deborah, can you see Jimmy gets that, please?
Yes.
That would
Okay.
include the expenditures that we made in 19 also.
Correct, everything.
Yeah.
And where we stand with that. And then Paul's going to update us on the marina, where we're at as of the meeting date, I believe.
Correct.
Okay.
Rick, I'd like to have a summary of how much the community donated towards the marina also.
From Deborah.
Yeah,
Is that a problem, Deborah?
No, it's actually in the annual report. This booklet that we sent out. The financial summaries are on 12 and 13, 11 through probably 14. But I'll get you these particulars, Jim, on the,
Jim, will that also identify the debt and how much of the debt we have retired?
You guys want me to talk about that?
Yes, I would like all the numbers for the marina if you could, please.
Do you want me to give you a projection on the pay down, or does that matter?
I'd like to see what the actual pay down is so far.
Okay. And we would need, Deborah, I'll send you a email on the data elements we need for that.
okay.
Will the pay down include donations received since January 1st?
Of this year?
Donations? Have we received donations since this year? Deborah, have we?
Yes.
I'm sure you have.
That's nice.
Yeah, as the assessments are coming in, I'm understanding that people are still donating towards the marina.
But there was some cutoff date that we used to print the booklet, right?
Yes. So Jimmy, does it make sense for you to speak first and then Paul give the marina update?
Yeah, I think it's all right, unless you want to go first, Polly.
Doesn't matter.
I think Jimmy goes first and then Paul will bring in the update on where we're at as of Saturday.
Is it possible, Jim, that you might use a screen share to show the spreadsheet? So instead of just reading off numbers?
He's going to be in his car.
Oh, sorry.
What'd you say, Hud?
Somebody else could do a screen share.
Well, someone else could do a screen show.
If we had the information, I'd be more than happy to do it. You just give me the cue, Jim.
Hello, Grant.
Hi.
You don't have to wear a mask on my account.
Jimmy, does it make sense for you to send that information to Tom, or what makes best sense?
Well, I'll get it from Deborah, then I'll give it to Tom,
You'll give it to Tom.
and then I'll tell him the order in which I'm going to say them.
Thanks, Jim.
Makes sense. Thanks, Tom, for volunteering to put it on there. Thank you. Grant just joined us. I would just want to bring him up to speed where Grant, for the annual meeting on Saturday, I asked all the board members if they had any input or what they would like to see at the said and seen at the meeting on Saturday. If you have any ideas, we just got Jimmy's going to give a report on the monies that we've spent up to date on the marina and donations and all that kind of stuff with the marina. Paul's going to give us an update on the marina status as it stands as of Saturday. And all the committees, chair people or their designated people are going to report on the committees. And that's about where we're at right now. So if you have any ideas or concerns or something you'd like to see said or brought up, bring it up now, please. Anybody?
I was gonna say that covers it all for me.
Does anybody have any suggestions on how we should handle election of officers?
We just went over that a minute ago, I thought.
Election of officers.
Oh,
That's done in the reorganization meeting after the annual meeting.
and we'll have a separate Zoom set up, which I have not asked Rick Rick or Ken to set that Zoom meeting up to happen right after the annual meeting.
That would be something like an executive session that I guess Ken would handle.
Yes,
Ken will be in charge of that meeting. He'll take over from the start until a president's elected, and then the president will take over from there and finish out the voting of the executive committee. So Ken, you or Rick, can you two get together and set that Zoom meeting up for after the annual meeting, please?
yes.
Yeah, just let me know if you need my help, Ken.
Okay.
You know how to reach me.
Only part of that that I don't have worked out yet is we have to get the new members who's voted in them this Zoom call information.
That would just be an email or a text message, I assume.
I assume we can do it with a text. We'll have to make sure that we have the text number of all the people that's running, because we won't know who they are until late in our annual meeting.
I could have a text ready to send to the new members.
Okay, and I see we have, what, two that I saw on here already, Summer and Nina. Was there anybody else on here that's part of that group?
Grant,
I didn't see anybody.
Grant,
Well,
Yeah, Grant.
that's 4. So who are we missing besides Shannon Lieb and who else?
Dick
Dick
Warner.
Warner,
Right.
AJ?
AJ Grant,
And
Shannon,
Scott
and
Coyle.
I'm sorry?
And Scott Coyle.
There you go. So you'll get all that information, Ken, and have it ready and be able to send it to the ones that are the new members that are elected.
I sure will.
Thank you. Anything else in regards to that meeting that I'm overlooking? Anybody?
Just an administrative thought about that text. We may want to send the text to all persons who were in the election with just a list of those who were elected. Because the other people might call you, Ken, and ask you, did you not have my phone number?
That's a
You
good
know.
point. I can send it to each and every one of them and just tell them the winners of the election
We're so-and-so.
are the following people,
Okay,
and then have that Zoom information on that text as well.
Well, you'd want to have the Zoom information just to the people that
That's
became
right.
elected officials.
You're right. I can put on there that a text will be followed up to those winners with the Zoom information
Correct.
to start at, immediately or whatever time we choose.
Perfect.
You might just go 15 minutes after the annual meeting's over, and that'll give people time to get the text out to all those people and all that information, and give everybody a health break too.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other ideas on that we're overlooking for that piece of it?
When we vote for the different positions, is it anonymous or is it just like raising the hands? I don't remember.
It's a raise of the hand unless there's a tie.
Okay, all right.
There's a tie. I would assume we will just be able to text Ken our choice.
Okay.
That would be a way to get a silent vote. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah, basically, I think what you're suggesting, Paul, if we want to do a silent vote, we could use the Zoom chat feature just to respond to Ken.
Either way, yes. Either Zoom chat or text message, whichever you prefer, I would say.
Okay.
Are we gonna have anything on the license? How that's going?
Ken informed me that we're past that as far as getting it out for this year. Ken, correct me if I'm wrong.
You mean the boating license?
Yes.
It's going really well. I mean, people are taking the test. Me and Deborah was looking the other day, and there's several people that has taken the test.
You check out my score?
Yeah, it's still short of 300 people. So I think we need to plug it to get people to pick up the speed a bit.
I
But
agree.
yeah, it's good, but it's going well.
Yeah, I hate for everybody to wait to the last second and try to do it at the marina.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll put that out at the annual meeting that the test is available and the people are welcome to get on it now, and so that there won't be long lines at the marina.
Folks are coming into the office and there was a couple tested today at the office.
Really?
Yeah, using the kiosk.
How'd that work out? Fine, I hope.
Great.
Hey, Ken, do we have a list of the persons who purchased stickers last year? That includes their email and all that? Can we do that kind of sort?
I think, yeah, I mean, I believe we capture that information.
Well, we ought to blast those people for sure. With a personal thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be Dear Bob, but you know, something like that.
Is AJ on this call?
Yeah, I'm on here.
I thought you were. There's a button on the bottom left that says start video. I don't see you, but I saw your name.
Oh,
There you go.
Is that what you were waiting for?
I liked it better before.
No doubt.
You look like you're laying down in bed.
I'm in Florida, so I'm in my bedroom area, so I'm not where everybody else is. Here, I can
Florida.
why don't you clarify that?
Perfect view.
Is that better?
Yes, it's way better.
Anybody else have any ideas for the annual meeting that or subjects they want to discuss or have discussed at the annual meeting?
Rick, I sent you a text message with the agenda that is just a guideline that's in the annual report.
Right. Thank
So
you.
after the announcement, you have presentation of award.
Okay. Ken,
Yes, sir.
on the presentation of the awards, are we going to do it the way we discussed, or where you
Yeah.
at with it?
Yeah, matter of fact, I can get well, AJ, when are you coming back?
Saturday.
Woo.
Okay. I've got to get the awards to the three of you. And then when they are presented during the meeting, then you'll just basically show, hold it up and show your award. So, so I've already spoke to Grant. Grant, I'm going to see Grant Friday. I can get JJ's this week. And when are you leaving, Jim?
Oh, I'll be around.
Okay. And then you're not going to be back until Saturday. So is it going to, maybe I'll call you and maybe.
Why don't you just hold me up? I'm not super worried about it. I mean, if I gotta just be like, look at Ken, he's got it.
Well, I could call you and if we could identify a place I could put it or leave it with your neighbor or something like that, then.
AJ, will you be back before the annual meeting?
I don't know. I don't know what time our flight is.
Okay. So it's possible you might not even be on the Zoom for the annual meeting then. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I think it'd be better if one of us just held it up for him.
Okay. You want to do that, Jimmy?
Well, I
Ken,
can do that if Ken, I'll be glad to do that. Oh,
I'll-
I'm in a tough spot. I'm in the car.
I'll do it. If there's a chance he's not gonna get back, I'll do that.
okay, that's taken care of then. The whole awards thing's already taken care of then. Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
What else, Deborah, do you have on there?
Basically, that's it. There's a forum and then adjournment. There is an announcement section, but that's just comments, basically from clubs or just the fire department, security, those type affiliates.
Okay. All right, I think we beat that dead horse long enough, haven't we? Anybody else?
Got it.
If anybody
Yep.
can think of anything throughout the week, just shoot myself a text or give me a call.
Will do.
Okay, the next thing I have on is bylaw amendment 2021 discussion. And I have Paul Forbes' name on there.
Now, this will be up for the second vote, correct?
Yeah.
I think that's all it is to
Yeah.
be the second vote. And this is for the March meeting if I have that correct.
That's correct.
All right, so that'll be old business March meeting.
Right.
What's the date in March? Like the 9th or something? I haven't looked it up.
8th.
I was close. The 8th of March. Thank you, Tom.
So with the new members being at the meeting in March, they would be responsible for voting in the second vote. That's not going to be a problem.
No, that won't be a problem, other than we need to bring them up to speed on what it is if they're not aware what's going on.
Okay. All right. So this was just basically going there in case anybody had anything new to discuss other than it's been voted on once and approved. So it's just.
Okay. Tom, you're an officer. Did you have anything you wanted to say at the annual meeting?
No, not I.
I'm sorry?
Not I.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, throw that out there. Okay, bylaws, that's done. The only other thing I have on here is a restaurant lease agreement. It says Paul Forbes.
I don't think we have Paul with us anymore.
He's gone.
He's out there giving me a hard
Hang
time.
on, he's calling me. Hello. Okay. Okay. I've got Paul on speakerphone. He lost his connection, so he will speak through my speakerphone and hopefully you can hear.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing was and I don't have any light in this car right now. The bylaw amendment thing. I don't know why that's on the agenda. I guess I put it on there in case there was any more discussion, but that is to be read at 2 meetings. This is not one of those meetings. We read it at the last board meeting and we're going to read it again on March 8th, I believe, which will be the next board meeting. And if there's any reason why I need to go any further than that as an explanation, let me know right now.
That's where we're at, and it'll be under old business for the March 8th meeting, Paul.
Okay, thank you. The next thing on the agenda then is under my name, which I didn't realize until yesterday or today that I was giving it, but you know what? It was good timing. It's about the lease, and as of 4:00 this afternoon, I had a call from Ed Som, and I would just like to say to everyone on this ops meeting, and of course anybody that's listening, you guys read the papers, you see the news, you know what's going on in the country. Ed Som is in the middle of all that. He is a restaurateur with 15 operations. And as of 3 weeks ago, his officer that was involved in reading and approving and getting with Ed on anything new in the company that deals with leases and or finances lost his one parent a month ago and put his other parent in a nursing home that takes people that need help on a 24/7 basis. Sorry, I don't have that language on the top of my head here. But anyway, they have been very busy. He called me today and asked me if I would have our attorney put a letter of intent together to send to him. And he has a few changes he'd like to refer to when he gets the lease back to us, but he would like to sign a letter of intent immediately. And we should expect the changes that he is going to send back to us from the proposed lease that Tom Novak and Jim Johnson and Rick Huddleston and myself were at that meeting when we heard his opinions about proposals of the lease, and then we had sent him through our attorney that first proposal of the lease, which the four of us have seen, and they are getting a letter of intent signed, and then he is coming back to the attorney. I'm not sure how it's going to work at this point, but I hope we have a letter of intent from Som before the annual meeting. And if nobody on this, I'm sorry I can't look at you all, but if nobody on this call and nobody in the audience thinks that's a big deal, then all I can say is I know I'm not the only one that's excited today. So that's my spiel. Any questions?
Oh, that's definitely exciting, though.
That's awesome news, Paul.
I heard Paul's buying breakfast the first day.
After all we've been through with that, I think I'm still amazed that he's willing to give us that. It's just a great thing, Paul, and thank you and Jim and Tom for all your work.
Almost signed a letter of intent for that restaurant.
I pressed mute on that one.
It was somebody that needed to be muted, I think.
I took care of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's good news. I'm not quite that conservative, Steve. I'll buy you the first drink.
Of water?
Well, that's my opinion. That's great news with it. You know, all the restaurants closing. I don't think there's too many restaurateurs out there that is opening restaurants right now. And so I'm excited to hear that news with Ed Som.
Thank you, Paul.
I can tell you that I've always had faith, but I had tears in my eyes this afternoon.
Well, it's
Thank
been a
you.
long time coming.
Anybody else? Anything else on, any questions of Paul on this great announcement he had this evening? Okay, with all that being said, anybody have anything else they want to cover on the operations meeting this evening?
Over and out. I'll see you. Bye.
I'll
See you,
take a
Paul.
motion. I'll take a motion, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor? There. All righty. Thanks everyone for attending.